Hello and welcome to Community Focus, the program that highlights all the issues that matter to you and to your community. Today we have a very exciting program because we will discuss a unique art project like no other that has come to Houston before. And I'm going to let the lead artist himself introduce the project. It is my pleasure to welcome Sebastian Mr. D. Boileau. Did I pronounce that right?
Very good. You're doing better and better every time. Yeah.
And also Noah Quiles from Up Art Studio. Noah, thank you for being here.
Ariana, thank you for having us. We're proud to be here with you again.
Mr. D, let's start with you first. Why don't you tell us about this awesome event?
We're going to paint the biggest mural in the city of Houston. Imagine a whole city block wide and 5-story tall, which is about over 8,000 square feet. So I think the current mural in Houston, the largest, is about half that size, which is one that we also did last year in the same area. It's a big undertaking, and the imagery, the design is going to be. You're not going to be able to miss that. It's going to be a very powerful image, one that you don't expect. And we're trying to keep the design a little bit of a surprise, but one that very colorful and you would not expect in an urban environment like this.
Can you give us any little hints on what that image might be?
Yes. Well, the title of the wall of the project is Préservons la création, which is French, but means let's preserve the creation. And the idea was to use a very known image, probably one of the most known image from the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo, and put a spin on it at a very large scale, which artistically is very challenging, but the location makes it very interesting. It's a conversation between, Renaissance and urban living.
How did this idea come about?
Frankly, I've had the idea for a long time. I just always thought I like mixing, modern and older things in general. I think it's very interesting. 2 months ago, the owner of the building called me and he was like, "Well, you want this wall? It's one of the largest walls in the city." So, as a mural artist and artist. I couldn't pass it up.
Now you're with Eiffel Art, which is also dedicated to not only increasing awareness about art in the community, but you are the creator of so many murals around town that we can enjoy.
Yes, I'm the owner of Eiffel Art Murals and Designs, and for about 20 years now we've been painting murals all over the place. And Houston is home. I'm not from Houston, but Houston is home. And so a couple of years ago, we decided to really work in the city more and not just do commercial projects and just really bring it to the community level and do a really bold artistic project.
This is a huge undertaking. So
yes, it is.
Tell us a little bit about what has to go on behind the scenes to make this happen.
Well, let me take a breath here. Well, what's it going to take? Well, it's going to take over 100 gallons of Sherwin-Williams paint to paint the background, over 550 cans of Liquitex aerosol spray paint. On top of that, the boom lift that was also provided by our sponsor, Liquitex, which is we're going to need 2 on site so that we can paint this mural in a speedy fashion. I mean, I say speedy, it's going to take a month to paint the largest mural in Houston. It's just extraordinary what we're doing.
So it's going to take a month to create the mural. So can people, obviously people can stop by and kind of watch the work in progress.
Yes.
Please do.
In fact, our multimedia partner, Pipe Multimedia, they're going to be doing a time lapse of the actual mural being in progress. They've developed and working with this firm in Austin. We're creating these extraordinary new housings for the cameras. So that it's a lot of production. There's a lot of sizzle, and there's also going to be a whole bunch of steak.
What kinds of activities can folks enjoy during the event itself?
I think the community aspect. We're going to definitely have entertainment. We're expecting to. At this point, the mural will be done, so it's going to be a party. At least for me, for sure. So we have great sponsors, Di Vodka. And wine companies that are going to be on site. Of course, music is expected. Art vendors are going to be there. And like Noah mentioned, upstairs in the building itself, we're going to have 6,000 square feet of space with art gallery. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. Not to mention, and this is an exciting component, one of our partners, Texan French Alliance for the Arts, they're bringing the Open the Door project, which is an art project that has been around for about a year, scattered around the city. An American artist on one side and a French artist on the other. And we're going to have a reinstallation, but it will be the largest installation of all the doors on one location. And really, this is a lead up to a project that is very dear to me, which I brought to the table a couple of years ago to do something in the medical district for the Children's Hospital. After visiting a friend, I noticed a lot of blank space, and when you're a kid in a hospital, that's not fun to look at. Brick walls are not really exciting, I think.
What does this mean for Houston?
Well, I tell you what, as I mentioned before, I'm not from Houston. I grew up in Paris, and I lived in a lot of different places. And Houston has so much energy, so much to offer. I mean, I love the city. I feel like the scene, the art scene, in general, is just booming. It's growing everywhere you look. So I'm really happy to see that, and I'm definitely happy to participate.
And one thing that when you ask what's in it for Houston, well, Sebastian touched on it. We're bringing a classical Renaissance image to the community to help, one, beautify, and two, to help educate.
If I may add, it's also bringing a piece of the world to Houston, because you're incorporating art that otherwise would not be seen unless they flew across the world to see it. You're making it unique by implementing the elements that are Houston, so it is still very much going to belong to Houston. And I think more importantly, for anybody who, is a child and dreams of becoming an artist or really enjoys painting or coloring or drawing, this is something that you can actually do, guys. A job doesn't have to be boring and from 8 to 5. You can make a living out of living your passion. And one thing that I've, definitely learned from getting to know the both of you is that you're very passionate and that you don't work. You play, you have fun, and you create art every day. Well, of course, there's work involved, but
you're right. We do something we love, so the cliche is true. If you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And Sebastian, we touched on that. Sebastian's been painting all his life, pretty much. One
thing that's important, and you just really brought it to the surface, is I get approached by kids all the time, and they or schools are asking me to talk to the children, and I tell them, find something that you're really passionate about, because then you more than likely you will do very well at it, and by doing well you'll probably succeed and then get paid for it, etc. And on this project, talking about switching from a real job to being an artist, it is possible. I mean, I'm the living proof of it. And I have a few artists working with me, and one is 20 years old, so I'm older than his father. And so he was very passionate but didn't know what to do. So I brought him on board, and he's actually going to be painting. Talk about experience for him. He's very talented, but at 20 years old, you don't know what to do. So he's going to be my assistant, and I love this whole generation, the passing of the baton, if you will.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. It's always a blast to have you on the show.
Ariana, always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Community Focus, and we have been discussing the biggest mural in Houston. More information about that will be at the end of the show. We thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Community Focus.